Welcome to Biblical Greek. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about a very important part of speech, pronoun. Pronoun. Pronomen. For the name. It comes from the Latin, for the name. Means it is used in place of a name, of a noun. That's why it is a for the noun. Now, there are many kinds of pronouns, in fact, 9 to be exact. And very quickly, if you want to run over that list, you have the personal pronouns, which is I, you, we, they. You have the demonstrative pronouns, this and that. Possessive pronoun, mine, yours, ours, theirs. Interrogative pronouns, who, whose, whom. Which, what. Indefinite pronouns, anyone, someone, something, certain one, some. And then reflexive pronouns, which is like himself or itself. These are reflexive, coming back on self. Emphasizing pronouns, I saw the man himself. I ate myself. And so these are those emphasizing pronouns. And then also the reciprocal pronoun, which is one another. One another is a reciprocal pronoun. And then the relative pronouns, who, whom, whose, which, that, they all fall in the category of the relative pronoun. But in this lesson, we're going to focus mostly on the personal pronoun. And here is a paradigm behind me of the personal pronoun. Of course, singular, plural. And then nominative, no vocative. There is no vocative case when we're dealing with a personal pronoun or pronouns. So nominative, accusative, genitive, dative. So how do we translate them? Well, here we go. Ego is I. Hemes is we. Me is me. Hemas is us. Mu would be my. And then hemon would be our. And then emoi, moi would be to or from me. And then hemen is to or from us. Basically, those are our personal pronouns. And it's critical to memorize them. And so write out the chart, that paradigm. Ego, eme, me, emu, mu, emoi, moi, hemes, hemas, hemon, hemen. Now, why are there two different ones under the accusative, genitive, and dative? Here's something very important to understand. If eme is used, or emu is used, or emoi is used, it is for emphasis purposes. So keep that in mind. When you see those, there is something that is being highlighted, and so that should reflect in your translation. And so translators struggle with this because it is eme or emu or emoi. What is the biblical writer trying to convey with this personal pronoun in the singular, accusative or genitive or dative? What is he trying to communicate? And then we need to bring the same thing out in our preaching or in our teaching, because that's the focus or the force of the pronoun there. So we've looked at the first person personal pronouns, and now it is the second person personal pronouns. How does the paradigm look like? Well, it looks like this. You see the singular, you see the plural. But unlike the first person, which did not have the vocative, the vocative, how can he command I? How can he command we? So there was no vocative, but in the second person, there is vocative. Okay? So that's why nominative, vocative, accusative, genitive, dative. All 5 of the cases are reflected in the second person personal pronouns. Now, how are they translated? Su, su, say, su, soy. Humes, humes, humas, humon, humin. If you notice something, the nominative and the vocative are exactly the same in the singular and in the plural. So right there, it helps you a little bit. Now, how are they translated? You. Okay? You. And on the other side, you, or you can say you all. Same thing in the vocative. You. Or you all, as you are commanding in the vocative, or calling, or addressing. That's what vocative case is, right? And again, say. What is say? You. What is humas? You all. So this second person declension of the personal pronoun is much easier than you would think. But now over here, of you or yours, and again, of you all or you alls, or your could be another way to say that. And keep in mind, when you say that, there should be a plural idea behind there, or just your would be good. And to or from you, and then plural is to or from you all. So here you have the declension for the second person personal pronoun. And very important to keep that distinction in mind, how the nominative, the vocative, accusative, genitive, dative is translated. So far we have looked at the first person personal pronouns and the second person personal pronouns. Now it's time to look at the third person personal pronouns. Keep in mind, the first person are like I and we, or me and us, and the second person is more like the you and you all. Third person, we're talking about the he, she, it in the singular, and they and them in the plural, or theirs as well. So, autos, autoi, auton, autus, autu, auton, auto, autois. It sounds very much like our second declension, doesn't it? Well, it is. So, this is your masculine. Okay? Third person personal pronouns. So, this would be he, and that would be they. So, this would be him and them, of him, of them, to or for him, and to or for them. So this is in that masculine declension. Then this is the feminine. Aute, autai, autain, autas, autes, auton, aute, with the outer subscript, autais. Again, we're going with she, they, her, and them, of her or hers, and of them, to or for her, to or for them. And then this one is the neuter third person personal pronoun. And how is that decline? It, they, it, them, of it or its, and of them, or theirs, and then to or from it, to or from them. And so it seems very complicated, but keep in mind these pronouns are very significant, very important, but their endings, they're not as complicated as it may seem. Okay, we're simply going by the same declensions that we've seen in the second declension. So autos, autoi, auton, autus, autu, auton, auto, autois, very similar. Again, this is the feminine, and this here is the neuter. So these are the third person, masculine, feminine, neuter personal pronouns. Now, once again, think about the same third person personal pronoun. If it has the definite article with it, then it is what is known as an identical pronoun. Okay? The emphasizing pronoun does not have the article. Autos, ha kurios, or ha kurios autos is the Lord himself. But if it is ha autos kurios or ha autos ha kurios, in that case, it becomes the identical pronoun. So the translation will be the same Lord. With the article, it becomes the same Lord. Without the article, with the pronoun, it is simply the Lord himself, emphasizing rather than being identical. So this is a subtle distinction. So you have to look for the article with the third person pronoun, and then you know, is it emphasizing pronoun? If it doesn't have an article, is emphasizing, or is it identical pronoun? It is, if it has the article. And the article with the pronoun may come before that subject, kurios, whether without the article, or it can come after that subject, whether without the article. It doesn't matter. So this is very important to remember, because you will see that in some of those exegetical decisions. Should it be the Lord himself or the same Lord? Look for the article. Okay? No article, emphasizing the Lord himself. Article with the personal pronoun, then it is identical pronoun, which is the Lord or the same Lord. That concludes our lesson on the personal pronouns, first person, second person, and third person with the masculine, feminine, and neuter declensions.